A kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa lórí ìkànnì Yorùbá Space TV. A kí yín pé ẹ káàbọ̀ padà sórí ìkànnì yìí. Ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́, ẹ kú ìyálẹ̀ta, ẹ kú àṣálẹ́ ní gbogbo ibi tí ẹ ti láǹfààní láti máa wò wá káàkiri àgbáláyé. Èmi ọmọ yín náà sì ni Olúwasanmí Ọmọfọlọ́wọ́. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé àwa la ó máa wá, ẹ̀yin la ó sì máa bá lọ́jọ́kọ́jọ́. Ẹ wò ó, níbi tí ọ̀rọ̀ dé báyìí lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation, ẹ̀kọ́ ti fojú mímu hàn. A ti mọ ibi tá à ń lọ. Àwọn tí ò bá mọ ibi tá à ń lọ ni kí wọ́n béèrè ká lè fọ̀nà hàn wọ́n pé ibi tá à ń lọ rèé. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá ṣì wá rú lójú tó ń sọ pé ṣé Yorùbá Nation ṣó yìí lè ṣe é ṣe ṣá, ọdún mà ti fẹ́ parí. Tó ń sọ pé a ti máa wà ní October báyìí, èní mà ní 25 of October, tó ń sọ pé ṣó yìí máa ṣe é ṣe ṣá. Ẹ bá mi sọ fún wọn wípé níwọ̀n ìgbà tí ọjọ́ bá ṣì ń yọ lókè, tí ọjọ́ òde ní ṣe kó má yọ mọ́. Ẹ bá mi sọ fún wọn pé nígbà tí òòrùn bá ṣì ń ràn lókè, tí òòrùn sì ní ṣe kó má ràn nígbà tó bá yẹ kó ràn. Ẹ sọ fún wọn wípé òòrùn tó wà lókè yìí ó sì taṣọ ságbẹ. Kọ́dìn tó parí la pè é, àní kọ́dìn tó parí, Ọlọ́run ọba yóò gba orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá Nation fún wa láṣẹ ìrọ̀rùn. Ǹjẹ́ kí la wá fẹ́ bá wa sọ lónìí? Kí la fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ tún mọ̀? Kí la fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ tún gbọ́? Ẹ ti rí inú àkọlé fídíò yìí. Àwọn bàbá wa, bàbá alálùbáríkà, bàbá tó fi ń tọrọ fáwọn bàbá, Prof Banji Akintoye, àwọn ni wọ́n jáde síta. Wọ́n sì address international community àti gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá káàkiri àgbáyé. Ẹ wò ó, fídíò tẹ́ fẹ́ wò yìí, ọ̀rọ̀ kún síbẹ̀, ó kì pọ́pọ́. Mo sì fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ tẹ́tí léko, kẹ́ ẹ farabalẹ̀ láti gbádùn fídíò yìí. Ẹ wò ó, láì dènà pẹnu, láì fi ọ̀pá pọ̀lọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ejò, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ gbọ́ ohun tí bàbá sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá àti fún gbogbo àwọn àjọ àgbáyé. Ó yá, bàbá, ẹ gbóhùn sókè.
I come with love this afternoon to all Yoruba people at home and in the diaspora. I am doing this program specifically for our friends in the outside world, people who are not Yoruba, but people who are interested in our struggle for self-determination and who are asking us many questions. We are now at a stage when most of our activities are concentrated on persuading the international community to give its support to our struggle, and we are succeeding considerably. Remember that we started only in 2019, and yet today we have gone a long way in getting many international agencies and governments to be on our side. But they're asking questions, and the questions need to be answered. And I'm answering now. You will see that there are people among us, that is what puzzles our foreign friends most. You see many people among us who are prominent citizens of the Yoruba Nation, who are running around saying they want to contest election and become president or senator or whatever in Nigeria. The international community needs to be informed what is happening. The Yoruba people have decided that they want their own country. We've decided that since 2019, and there is no looking back. There is no going back. We want our Yoruba Nation now, and there is no going back. That is the decision of the overwhelming majority of Yoruba people. However, there are some of us who think that they have done a lot for some political party or some political friends in Nigeria, and they want to earn the benefits of it. One of them said, I am the next person, Emilio Khan. Well, we don't grudge them for that. But what is important is that they are doing that for their personal interest alone. and not for the welfare of the Yoruba people. What the welfare of the Yoruba people demands today is that every Yoruba man, woman, and child should join hands together to work peacefully towards taking our nation out of Nigeria. That's what is in the interest of the Yoruba nation today. And why is that? The reason is that for 62 years since independence, Nigeria has been like a death house to the Yoruba nation. Only 2 years after independence, the Nigerian federal government levied war on the Yoruba people, organized a surreptitious move to disrupt the government of our western region and to use one of our most prominent leaders against the rest of our people. Unfortunately, they succeeded, and Nigeria has been dragging our nation down steadily ever since. By 1960, we were far and away the most developed part of tropical Africa. We were the only people with free education, the only people with a whole lot of other achievements of modern development, an industrial estate or a number of industrial estates, an investment fund, the Western Region Development Corporation that had holdings in banking, industries, real estate, even commerce. We had established the first television on the African continent, even before some countries in Europe had television. We were heading very strongly towards becoming a prosperous and powerful modern society. And we were doing all of that under our leader, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, in the 1950s. But when Nigeria became independent, the first thing that the federal government of Nigeria wanted to do was to pull down our region. We were going too fast, and they wanted to pull us back and push us down. And they succeeded. And since then, our western region has been going further and further down. So now we have reached a point at which our educational system has lost standards. Our children are no longer learning at school, and many of them are running away to foreign countries to go and get good education. Our university in Ife, which we built at great expense and with great love, is being destroyed gradually by federal hand. In the general collapse of infrastructure in Nigeria, we are suffering abominably. We don't have good roads in our region anymore. A former president of Nigeria, General Obasanjo, said a few days ago, to travel in the western region now is a great deal of pain. The federal roads are strangulating and destroying the economy of our region. Our university in Ife has been gradually destroyed. We can no longer teach our history in our schools. We can no longer teach our language in our schools. We have become an enslaved people in Nigeria. We cannot continue like that. But above that, since 2015, we have been experiencing something that the rest of the world cannot understand. And that is systematic invasion of our land by another people from another part of Nigeria, the Fulani people from the north. They have been coming to kill our farmers, to rape our women, to destroy villages and farmsteads and other assets of rural life, resulting in the fact that many of our farmers have abandoned farming altogether, and we are heading towards real disaster in Nigeria. We can no longer feed our nation, and we have now to depend on other people to provide for us. We have some of the most fertile land in the world, and we were already beginning to develop modern agriculture. But everywhere where signs of modern agriculture has shown up, the Fulani have gone to destroy. They started with one of our most prominent citizens, Chief Olufalaye, who was establishing one of the great modern farms in our land. He was kidnapped from his farm and taken into the bush for 4 days in the rain until his family had to cough off a lot of money to ransom him. A young man called Aborode studied in Germany, took a PhD, and came back home to his homeland to establish a farm. And he developed his farm to the point that it was employing as many as 320 employees. One morning, the Fulani stopped his car on the road near his farm and killed him and mutilated his body. What are the Fulani doing? Is this a temporary attack on our nation? A lot of our people don't know the answer. The answer is that this is no temporary attempt. This is a permanent attempt. The Fulani have decided that the whole of Nigeria belongs to them. They held meetings upon meetings upon meetings and decided that they must solve one existential problem that they have. And the existential problem is that they have never had a homeland anywhere. They have never had a homeland anywhere, and that is beginning to affect them in country after country. And so they have decided that Nigeria is the homeland that God has given to them, that God has given them Nigeria for a homeland, and that they must conquer it. And they are using their herdsmen who are scattered all over Nigeria as an army of conquest. Anybody who thinks that, oh, this is just a war between, trouble between herdsmen and farmers is making a hideous mistake. The Fulani herdsman has become a soldier for his nation, for the Fulani nation, for the conquest of the non-Fulani peoples of Nigeria. That's the truth of the matter. And other people, they have opened the door for Fulani from all over West Africa to come. And they are coming in droves, in their millions, to Nigeria and taking up arms to fight the non-Fulani peoples of Nigeria. They are killing in large numbers. There was a newspaper a few days ago claimed that they had killed about 2,000 Yoruba people. That is not true. What our self-determination young people have found out, have calculated, because there are no official estimates, because the government is not interested. So our young people on their own decided to find out. And the number they have come to is 29,000 Yoruba people already killed. Yeah. Many of them think that that number is too low. Our nation is being destroyed. And the Fulani said they want to conquer us and take our land. They are not just fighting for today, they want to fight for decades or even hundreds of years to come until they have rendered us destroyed and subjugated, until the Fulani own their land, own our land. And they say they are coming in large numbers now. They have enrolled the services of international terrorist organizations like ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and they are working with Boko Haram. And all of those organizations have now entrenched themselves in our region. It is war to death. That's the way they want to deal with us Yoruba people. And it is not a war that they want to, we may win now, but they will come back. That's what they are saying. We may win now, the Yoruba people are strong, and they may win now, but we will never give up until we have subdued them. That is it. That is it. And they say that God has given them the whole of Nigeria. They have been holding meetings about that in order to solve the existential problem of the fact that they do not have a homeland anywhere. And they have finally decided Nigeria is their homeland. And God has given it to them. And they are going to fight and fight and fight. If they lose, they will retreat, but then they will come back. And they are ready to go on and on and on for decades of and hundreds of years until they have totally destroyed our Yoruba culture, our Yoruba confidence in ourselves, and until they establish their control over us. Part of their blueprint contains a statement that they would they will first of all destroy our Muslim population, because those are the people who will be claiming we are the same religionists. We are the same religion as you. They don't want that. They want to be in total control. They don't want any Yoruba Fulani, any Yoruba Muslim to come and say we are Muslims, and therefore we can share the government of the conquered Yoruba nation with you, with us. So they would not give up fighting until they have conquered all of us. They said they would kill the leaders of the Muslim community, the Yoruba Muslim community. They say our Islam is not Islam anyway, it's not a pure Islam, and they are coming to destroy all our Muslim leaders, our imams and our Babadini and the leaders and community leaders and so on and so forth. Then they will descend upon the rest of Yoruba land and destroy. They are going to destroy our palaces and kill our kings and install emirs in their place. Those are their plans. And so it is not a plan for today, tomorrow alone. It's a plan for many, many years to come, centuries to come if necessary. That's what they say. They are ready to continue to fight us until they have subdued us, until we surrender, until we get tired of resisting and surrender. That's what they say they want to do. And we must wake up and fight and defend ourselves and push them out of our land once and for all. And the overwhelming majority of Yoruba people have decided that the only way to do that is to have a separate country of our own, separate ourselves from Nigeria. The federal government of Nigeria is not defending us, it's not doing anything against the Fulani. Even when we created an institution that for local defense, Amotekun, the federal government tried to stop us from doing so. So we are in danger in Nigeria. The federal government is allowing the Fulani to come into Nigeria in huge numbers, to come and join in the killing and maiming and destroying in the war against us. The president of Nigeria himself publicly stated that people can come from all over Africa into Nigeria without any papers. That is an invitation to the Fulani to start coming. And they have opened all the borders of the north. About 37 different entry points along the border have been thrown wide open, and the Fulani are coming through them. Many of them have been brought to southern Nigeria, to the southwest, where we have our homeland. And they are filling our cities and bringing weapons and so on. When they come in the trucks and buses that bring them, they are coming in trucks and buses that contain large amounts of weapons. Some of the buses and trucks have been assaulted by our young men, and the guns have been shown to be there. It's not that we are making this up, it is there. And many of the young men they bring, say they are Okada riders in our cities, are actually armed desperados. They are ready to kill and destroy Yoruba people. It is a war to death, and it's a war that we Yoruba cannot afford to lose. If we lose it, there will be no Yoruba nation in the future. The Yoruba nation will be totally brutalized and destroyed from the face of the earth. We are not going to let that happen to us. And so the answer is, we separate ourselves. We separate ourselves, and we then create security for our people in our new country, and then begin to build the kind of country, the kind of society that we are used to having. Before the white man came, we were a nation with a strong philosophy of government that said that the important thing for in the purposes of a government is that the interests of the people must be preserved. Government exists for the preservation of the quality of life of the people, for the improvement in the quality of life of the people. So when our kings and their chiefs met every morning in the palaces across Yoruba land, they were not discussing anything other than improvement in the quality of life of the people in their own way. And then when in 1951 we were allowed to begin to rule ourselves a little, one of their bravest sons, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, stepped forward and said, all that government exists to do is to improve the quality of the life of its people. And he began to do it in the Western region. So we had a whole lot of things: free education, television, great roads, water systems for most cities, and so on and so forth. High quality of life that was constantly improving. But we have been dragged down, as I said before. Between 1962 and now, our nation has been brutalized, seriously brutalized. We don't have roads in our land anymore. We cannot travel anywhere in Yoruba land. Most of our cities that had water in the 1950s now don't have water. Our schools have lost quality. Our teachers are not being paid appropriately, and many of them have turned away and found a way to survive. One important Yoruba leader said he went to a school once and he found the children picking melon seeds for their teacher, because the teacher was trying to survive by buying raw, unshelled melon seeds in the market and bringing it to the school for the children to share from him. That's the kind of thing that we're doing. We can no longer teach our language in our schools. We can no longer teach our history. The Obafemi Awolowo University that our people built at great expense is being destroyed. I visited the university a couple of years ago. Since I came back, I found that the university was giving a pittance for development capital, only 33 million naira. The same year, Ahmadu Bello in the north was giving 370 million naira. That's the kind of thing we are living with. That's the kind of... A few days ago, one of our governors screamed out, because when the federal government would not allow us to buy modern guns for the young men we have recruited to defend us under the name of Amatekun, they were allowing similar governments in the north to buy sophisticated modern weapons, AK-47 rifles. Yeah. Nigeria is not for the Yoruba people anymore. And so our people who say they are contesting election, that's why we have no fight with you. We will not fight. We will not fight. We will not start a fight in Yoruba land. But we want you to know that you are doing a terrible thing to our people. You are doing a terrible thing to your own parents and your own family. Your people are being killed, and you want to dine with the killers. is unbelievable. Some young men may run away from the self-determination struggle and come and join you, and you may parade them because they see you sharing money. That's okay. But those boys don't represent the strength of the self-determination struggle. They do not. If they tell you that they are a strong part of the struggle, they are deceiving you. For more than a year now, they have not been part of the struggle in any meaningful manner. So, our brothers, you are fighting for yourself alone when your whole family is perishing. There is fire on our roof as a nation, and you have chosen to save yourself alone. It is unbelievable that any Yoruba man would do to his people what you are doing to our people now. You have been carrying around a video that from an interview that one local newspaper, Alaroye, came to do with me on the campus of Obafemi Awolowo over 2 years ago. They asked me if there was no Yoruba self-determination struggle, and you want to recommend a Yoruba person for president. I said, yeah. I said, yes. If that is so, I would recommend that Tinubu without any hesitation. But that is if the times are right. The times are not right. They managed to edit those sentences away from, and they just showed that I said Tinubu. No, I do not endorse any Yoruba man, Tinubu, or any other for any elective position, any position at all in Nigeria at this time. I stand fully and without looking back with the Yoruba struggle for self-determination for our own country, for Yoruba nation now. That's the truth of the matter. Don't deceive yourself. You cannot deceive our people. You think by carrying that kind of video around, you can deceive our people. Our people are smarter than that. The world is watching you. And history will judge that at a time when our nation needs to stand up and defend itself, you started to bring an agenda, a personal agenda of your own before them. You are asking us to vote for you, we will not vote for you. Whether it is for the presidency or the Senate or House of Rep or whatever, we will not vote for you. We will not be in Nigeria in 2023. We would have taken our country out of Nigeria by then. So we advise you now, return to your people. Wash your soul clean. You are doing a thing that is unpardonable. You are destroying your future. You are creating a legacy for yourself that your children's children will be ashamed to know in the future. We ask you to return. You can still save yourself now and your future. We are determined to take our country. And I'm standing solidly with the young people who are running around trying to take their country. Oh, you may say, oh, one bara one jar, they are fighting, they are quarreling. Yeah, that's what young people do everywhere. That does not mean that they don't want their country. They want their country. And the Lord God, the creator of all nations, has given them their country. And very soon the Lord will deliver their country into their hands. Then it will be their duty to settle down and begin to give to their people the kind of government that the Yoruba people have been giving to their people from the beginning of time. A government whose objective is the improvement, constant, unchanging improvement on the life of the people of our nation. It will come. I have confidence in our young people. They will gather together and build for our people the most advanced country in the world. They will surprise the world. I have confidence in them. That is my message. And that's the message of the overwhelming majority of Yoruba people. I have no personal animosity towards any Yoruba person seeking election. But I am sorry for you. You are creating a legacy that your children's children will be ashamed to know about very soon in the future of the world. My advice, turn around and come to support your people. This is the time to show that you are men. You are men, you have the heart of men. I thank the Lord for what He has done for the Yoruba people. Abroad and all in country after country, people are stepping forward to support us. We will win our country very soon. And the name of God will be glorified in it. That's my message. Thank you all.